We're the Blue Man Group. We closed off Broadway and we came to the Luntfontein. I heard voices, or I'm just hearing voices. The snow cascading through the air. I'm going to prepare myself emotionally for Gypsy. Yeah, we're heading to St. James to try and go and watch the Sunset Boulevard walk happen. Am I detecting hints of blue? God, hey!
Hi!
Where are we? New York? Again? But why? Why, Aeron James, as you take a sip from your enormous Dunkin' beverage that is the size of your head? Why are we back in Manhattan, Aeron James?
Well, technically not to be in Manhattan.
Correct.
We are in New York because it's a stop-off journey because we're going on a Disney cruise.
Yeah, we're going on holiday, vacation. We are taking our first ever Disney cruise, but that departs from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, which we couldn't fly directly to. You can fly to Orlando from the UK, but I don't think you can fly directly to Fort Lauderdale. And we were like, seems like a good excuse to go through New York. Yeah. Predominantly, I guess, because we hadn't seen Gypsy on our last trip. And I didn't want to wait until... We still don't know when our next trip is going to be for all of the other Broadway openings. There's a couple of new things since we were last here. Oh, look at that building! We're in a part of town we don't normally see because we're staying somewhere different this time. We're on the Upper West side. I don't know how upper it is, but we're on the Upper West side. We're around like 72nd at the moment. On our second day, technically, because we arrived last night. It is Central Park. This is our view currently. I'll show you what we're seeing. We're walking towards the park. This is the building I was just remarking on. As I was saying, we arrived yesterday afternoon and made the decision we would have had time for a show, even with the 45-minute customs queue. Do be prepared for that being a possibility when you arrive. But we made the decision not to go straight to a show because there was nothing we wanted to see this time around that would have paired well with jet lag, because all of our theatrical wish list is a lot of plays, a lot of what I've heard are really brilliant plays, and that's not the kind of theatre that I want to see with jet lag. Did he just walk past me? There you are. I missed you then entirely. Yeah, in the past we've gone to like Chicago, Spamalot, shows of that ilk, The Cottage, light, comedy, easy. Those I think pair well with jet lag. Obviously, if you want to see as much as possible, you're going to want to see a show on that first slot, but my advice is pick something that pairs well with being a little bit sleepy. Maybe something you've seen before, certainly not something where you'd have to pay like intense amounts of attention. But we did have dinner with friends at the Meatball Shop with many of Broadway's most beloved TikTok content creators as TikTok shut down basically in the US.
Yeah, it was very sad.
A bit of a mournful dinner for that, but lovely to see people again.
And we got to go to a special back section of the Meatball Shop again.
We did.
It's such a cool space. We were saying how it's like the Life Cafe in La Vie Boheme.
Oh yeah, I was doing the La Vie Boheme table choreography. Meatball Shop, also a really great place for a group hang because you can have such substantially different amounts of food from their menu. Yeah. You can have just like 3 meatballs that are delicious in a nice sauce that's all very customizable, or you can have an entire pasta dish or chicken Milanese, or you can just get like just some bruschetta, like a world of options. You can do jello shots. Meatball Shop, I'm telling you, great. Walking down towards Midtown Manhattan through Central Park, and the word of the week is going to be chilly. It's not that bad today. Well, yeah, we fly out on Wednesday. We're only here for a few days. It's not so bad currently. Rumours, by which I mean forecast, of a snowstorm beginning as early as this afternoon in a few hours' time. You wouldn't know it right now because it's very calm, very peaceful. Look at that incredibly well-dressed horse. Temperatures set to plummet to as low as -8, no, highs of -8 for the next few days. That's Celsius. Fahrenheit, I think that's like 17. It's going to be considerably colder than that as well, so great news for us. We are wrapped up as warm as we can be, walking down to Midtown Manhattan with a couple of tasks. So as we follow this horse and carriage down through Central Park and as Aeron enjoys his beverage, what did you get from Dunkin'?
Butter pecan ice latte.
Butter pecan ice latte?
I have to say pecan, and that's not how it's said here.
Butter pecan.
I wonder if it was butter pecan.
Butter pecan. Oh.
It's one of those can things. I'm like, I can't.
Because you can't. This afternoon we are going to see the Pulitzer Prize winning play English, which is officially opening on Wednesday or Thursday of this week at the Todd Hames Theatre down on 42nd Street. Very excited to see that one. There was a production of it in the UK this year at the RSC and the Kiln, which we missed because we're foolish, but we're excited to see it on Broadway. We got tickets for that this morning at 9 a.m. on the Today Tix Rush.
It's cool with seeing it on Broadway because this is the original off-Broadway cast.
There you go, even better. But one thing to point out, if you've done the Today Tix Rush in the UK, in the US, and this always catches me out, it's earlier. It's 9 a.m. here.
But a good thing to know about it, for UK peeps, you don't have to pay in dollars.
You don't have to pay in dollars, that's very true.
You can select to pay in pounds, which means you're not going to be paying currency transaction fee.
Yes, but yes, that's one of the many affordable ticket options available to you on Broadway if you are willing to leave your ticket purchases slightly more, not last minute, but until the day of. I will pause before my next piece of advice to show you the beautiful skyline that we have just opened ourselves up to. Here it is. As I often say, the remarkable thing about Central Park is all of this huge wide open green space and then the metropolis skyline surrounding it on four sides. It's just this rectangle of paradise in the middle of perhaps the busiest city in the world. Now for our evening show, we are seeing what, Aeron James?
Death Becomes Her again.
Show them your hat. Tell me, Ernest.
Yeah.
Sempre viva. Yes, we're seeing Death Becomes Her again because we loved it last time. You can go and check out our reaction on the previous vlog. And we were that little bit too early in previews for me to officially review it. I probably could have. I felt like it was 5% just like not ready yet. We're just walking by Tavern on the Green. Ooh, birds. Tavern on the Green, iconic New York restaurant, as featured in many films.
Including Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Also Ghostbusters and Elf. Or they try and go there in Elf. They don't get there in Elf. Death Becomes Her, yes. So we knew we wanted to go back to Death Becomes Her, and you can enter the lottery via Broadway Direct. Was it the Broadway Direct lottery? Yeah. I always use bwayrush.com as a guide for this. They tell you all about who's doing Rush tickets, who's doing a digital lottery, who's doing in-person Rush, like all of those things. Great resource. And from there you can click on and it will take you to the digital lottery page. And we actually entered that and won tickets on the flight on the way here via British Airways. Thank you, British Airways. And so that's another option, but it's that little bit more in advance. So the lottery closes the day before the show. So as you're heading to New York, make sure you're already looking at those lotteries. Some shows, I think like Hamilton on the app, maybe Moulin Rouge as well, draw even further in advance. So worth being aware of that ahead of time. But all of those tickets I've told you about are all in like the $50 range. And I think they're all partial view, but we're very far forwards in the orchestra and just like far over to the right hand side for both of the shows today. But I'll show you the view from our seats later. And generally speaking, a Broadway partial view is often less restricted than a West End partial view, just because our theatres are older and designed in such a way that makes it more challenging. God, this park is beautiful. Look at it. Look at it. With the rocks, with the sports, with the runners, with the dogs. It's still quite mild out today. Still perfectly nice. If it gets snowy, you know we're coming back here to see Central Park in the snow, because we have never seen snow in New York, even though we were here around the same time of year this time last year. Finally, if you can bear to listen to me talking still about ticketing options, the next place we are heading today before potentially meeting friends for brunch, which I'm excited about because I'm hungry, is we are going to the Samuel J. Friedman Theatre box office. They do a scheme, that's Manhattan Theatre Club, where they do $30 tickets if you're under 35.
Yeah.
Or $35 tickets if you're under 30. We're both of those things.
Yeah.
And we're making the most of those schemes before we age out of them, because
we're a bit under 35.
We're a bit under 35. We're just under 30
Yeah.
was my point. The pandemic took away the best of my under 25 ticket
Yeah, we
years.
both had this issue because, like, the pandemic, we turned 25 during that time.
Yeah.
So you kind of just missed.
Aged out of all the schemes. There's cute dogs running around Central Park, always a great time to come and see lovely doggies. Anyway, the point of all of that is that we are going to go and get some tickets for Eureka Day for their Wednesday matinee performance. That's going to be the last show we will see before flying out. We're seeing Kowalski on Monday night. That's a new off-Broadway play that's just recently started previews. We're seeing Gypsy on Tuesday. Gypsy, which of course opened last month, starring Audra McDonald at the Majestic. That will be a new theatre for us. But yeah, going to go get... You can get the MTC under 30, under 35, whatever they are, tickets online. I think you have to be signed up to their mailing list and then they send you a link and a code, but you can also get it at the box office, which is what we're doing now, because then you avoid paying booking fees. Those people are skiing in the street. I've never seen this before. Street skiing. Sure, why not? Worth saying, there are 3 acclaimed plays on Broadway right now. Well, English hasn't opened, but they're all getting great word of mouth from our friends at least. So Eureka Day at MTC, you can get cheap tickets for being under 30 or under 35. There is also Cult of Love at Second Stage. I think they've sold out all of their allocation, but they also have a similar scheme. You can do that on their website or in person. And English, you can get Hiptix, which also, that's a age-based allocation. I think there are a handful of other factors that you can qualify you for that as well. That's on an app, but I think they probably also do it at the box office. Anyway, just some ticket info for you. Go and see some plays on Broadway. If you are young, you can get cheaper tickets than you may realise. And then it's a nice break from my face. More beautiful views of Central Park. Lovely. I'm rebranding as a wildlife videographer. Look at all these little birds. Little birds in Central Park. Ooh, they're coming for me. Nearly turned into a Disney princess there. That was a close call. Heading down 7th Avenue past Carnegie Hall. Aeron, what were you saying just a moment ago?
We've never seen this not with a covering on.
Yeah. I don't know when it's scheduled to unveil itself, but this is what Carnegie Hall has looked like every time that we have been to New York, and we've been coming here pretty regularly, as you all know, since March 2023. We've just figured out this is our 7th New York trip.
Fab.
And it is they're getting ready to have the coldest weather they've had in 2 years, like record breaking. Yeah. So we've picked a great time.
But we came here when the big flooding happened in Brooklyn, right?
We did. We just bring natural disasters. Speaking of which, the inauguration is tomorrow. Last time we were here it was the election. So, like I said, we bring with us natural disasters. If you've watched my New York vlogs before, you will know that this is what? The Colbert Theatre. I am joking. This is, I believe, formerly the Ed Sullivan Theatre, where The Late Show with Stephen Colbert now films. And then just across from it, here we have the Broadway Theatre. Yes, that's its actual name, because this street is Broadway, if you didn't know, and it's one of the few theatres which is actually on Broadway. You're hearing the excitable screams of people queuing up for rush tickets. On Sundays, Broadway theatres open, I believe, at midday rather than 10 a.m. Bear that in mind, especially in cold weather like today, although I do think some box offices have been letting people queue inside. But the reason there's so many people here for The Great Gatsby today is because today, I think, is Jeremy Jordan and other principal cast members' final performance in the show. Where is he? Well, he's not in that number, so he's not there. We'll wait. Eventually he will appear. He's not, no. Come on, Jeremy. Any of these? Nope. Oh, well, yep, that's Ryan McCartan, who will be replacing early in the coming week. And then a few weeks after that, on February 10th, Sarah Hyland will be playing Daisy Buchanan, taking over for Eva Noblezada, who is leaving the show to go do Hadestown in London and then Cabaret on Broadway. I found him. There he is. It's even got his name down at the bottom there. Jeremy Jordan. Actually, multiple casts changing this weekend, because the O'Mary cast change is happening. Cola Scola, Conrad Ricamora and co, with Betty Gilpin and co set to take over. Cabaret cast change is coming up soon, has recently been announced. Eva Noblezada, when she is back from doing a month of Hadestown in the West End with that show's original stars, she will be coming back here along with Orville Peck to take over from Ali Carvalho and Adam Lambert in Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club, aka the August Wilson Theatre. I feel like I'm info dumping on you today. Apologies. It's been a while since we've talked Broadway on the streets of Manhattan. I've missed this for us. update, several updates. We found friends. Yay. And also it's snowing.
It's snowing.
I don't know that you can really see that it's snowing. You're going to have to trust me. It is. It is officially snowing. If we get done with brunch in time, we're going to walk over to the St. James and try and see the Sunset Boulevard walk in the blizzard. Clearly that is this snow. And see if it does in fact derail the entire production like people were speculating when they announced the New York transfer, because people are dramatic. In the meantime, brunch. So we ended up at Lily's Craft and Kitchen. I've got the French toast with sausage and an American unsweetened iced tea. Thank you so much. Which, if you've watched my vlogs previously, you'll know has been a journey. And this is not the destination, but that's okay. It's not their fault. Aeron's got omelette. We got a lot of nice brunchy offerings going on. We've also all got a show in about 35, 40, 51 minutes. Oh, this is fine. Brunch done. It was very nice. Lovely French toast. Never enough syrup. Never enough syrup. But that's like an industry-wide problem. There is never enough syrup.
America do omelettes. New York's omelette game is on it.
Did it come with the little potatoes?
Yeah.
9th Avenue is the place to be if you're like want to go for like a cute brunch somewhere or even dinner and you're scrambling for options. You can walk up and down the street and there's a dozen, 5 dozen places where you could go that would work. We are now hot-footing it over to the St. James. Hello, Schmackeries. Yeah, we're heading to St. James to try and go and watch the Sunset Boulevard walk happen. It was a 1 p.m. curtain today, which means the walk is going to happen around 2:35-ish. It's now like 2:25. Our matinee is at 3 p.m. Schmackeries behind us. We will visit you, Schmackeries. Going to go see the walk because we've never seen it.
No, we've never seen it.
We've seen it from inside the theatre, but we've never seen it in the wild.
Never saw it.
Never saw it in London. Well, London it would have been harder because to like be there, we don't have good staggered show times like on a Sunday when you get different matinee start times.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like in London, we would have had to have decided this isn't a show day, and it's like, well, it would be in London at that time.
And it's far away, like here, because everything's so close together. It's why they have to have multiple different versions of the walk, because New York's geography is a little busier. It means this is possible. We can watch part of a show from the street and then go indoors to another theatre, which is only like 1 street down, and go and see a play. So that is what beckons for our afternoon. Sadly, the snow is not settling. It's just sort of sleety.
It's snowing. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's barely even snow in the. It's somewhere between snow and rain in the air,
sleet.
And it's just. I'll show you. It's just wet on the ground. We're about to pass the Al Hirschfeld, as we so often do. This is probably one of our most visited Broadway theatre exteriors because we're always up and down this street, usually for cookies. We are here. Where is here? Well, here is Schubert Alley. The snow is turning rainy, but I think this is a sign that they are in fact doing the walk. They have one variant version of it where they don't have to go outdoors. They've only implemented that once before, I think on Halloween, when they could not get to Schubert Alley because of a medical emergency, I am told. But that over there is the St. James Theatre. You can see the doors that they will enter and exit from. We are by this junior's sign. This is where we've been told to stand by our friends Kate and Ben, who have done this many times, as documented in the Wall Street Journal, if you want to read about their experiences following the walk. I think that's what this is. I don't think this is an unrelated piece of equipment in the street. I think it's all still happening, but I'd be more comforted if we were among a crowd of people. Maybe we're a bit early, maybe we're a bit late. We'll see what happens over the next few minutes. We are suffering for journalism. I don't know if you can see. It's snowing on us now. We're trying to tell from afar if it started, if it's happening. Can't see a lot of anything from here. It's happening, people, it's happening. We're going to watch very respectfully and quietly from the street. The West End's own Tom Francis, Olivier Award winner Tom Francis, is going to walk past us in a few moments, singing the title song from Sunset Boulevard. They've got umbrellas, because they apparently were smarter than we were today. That was it. That was the Sunset Boulevard moment as seen from the street. Just as impressive is how it's coordinated by all of the different staff putting that together. What an operation they have turned that into over time. They're now going to head back over across the street and they're going to walk in the side of the orchestra at the St. James Theatre to rapturous applause from today's Sunday matinee audience. I can guarantee you, we have seen it in the West End, we have seen it here on Broadway. It is a feat which amazes people every single time. In they go to Sunset Boulevard. Now as the weather worsens and starts to feel more like, honestly, just raining on us, it is time for us to head 2 blocks down. That's the beauty of the Midtown Manhattan Theatre District. Nothing is that far away. 2 blocks down to go and see English at the Todd Hames, which will start in about 20 minutes. Here we are on 42nd Street. This is the Todd Hames Theatre, operated by the Roundabout Theatre Company, where English is in the later stage of its Broadway previews. Today at 3 p.m, limited run through March 2nd only. This used to be the American Airlines Theatre. It is now, as you can see there, the Todd Hames. This is the queue to go inside. We're going to do the usual things: bag check, show our tickets, which we have via the Todatix app. Thank you, Todatix. Also, we're going to be back here tomorrow night because this is where Kowalski is at New 42nd Street Studios. So get used to this spot, folks. We'll be returning. We're inside the Todd Hames Theatre, just gone through security. There's also a Labrador helping as part of the security team. What a great boy. English, the Pulitzer Prize winning play, has the following featured cocktails. All featured cocktails can be made non-alcoholic. Oh, that's great. How inclusive. There is the Notting Hill with tequila, apricot, honey and lime. That sounds nice. The Love Actually with sparkling rosé, triple sec lime and rose syrup. That also sounds nice. The Indiana Jones vodka, iced black tea, cardamom and agave. Is it agave or agave? I never know. And Muriel's Wedding, which is also a musical coming to the UK this year. Of course, based on the film, with Hendrick's Gin, mango puree, lime and simple syrup. I don't know what relationship any of those words have to the play, but of course they're all individual things. Oh no, they're all rom-coms. They're all films of some description. Maybe I'll figure that one out, or maybe it will all make sense as we see the play. You can also get snacks here. You've got intermission chocolate bars, Pringles, Twizzlers, cookies, mini pretzels, all sorts. At the start of the line to go to the bar area next to an advertisement for the next tenant of this theatre, which is going to be Pirates, the Penzance musical, now rebranded. We have the cast board here, the company board telling you who will be performing in alphabetical order, as well as this production's very important stage managers. There you go. And if you have understudies on for your show, that information will usually be shown down here, which seems to indicate that today we do not. And this is the view from our seats of the Todd Hames Theatre Auditorium. This is the set here of English. There you go, there you go, there you go. That was just Aeron James taking the all-important playbill shot. Remember to get your playbills. They are complimentary with any purchase of a ticket to a Broadway show. Your usher, who shows you to your seat, will also distribute the playbills. Inside, they have plenty of information about the company, about the creatives, about other things that are happening on Broadway. There are various ads. They also had an insert here about the show's partnership with Duolingo. It's all about learning English as a foreign language, so that all lines up pretty nicely. Yay for Duolingo. But yes, this is our view from the orchestra C8 and 10. I am on the end of a row, and I think for this set, I'll let you know, but I don't think this is going to be too restricted. The height certainly isn't a problem. I'm obviously quite wide to the set, but we will see. It does mean I have this lovely little, space here to dump my coat. I've got, leg room here, although the leg room, pretty decent, I will say, in all of these seats. This is our third visit to the Todd Hames. We were here not too long ago for Yellowface, and a little while ago on our first trip actually for the play Fat Ham, another Pulitzer Prize winner. In fact, maybe Yellowface was also a Pulitzer Prize. I can't remember. There are Pulitzer Prizes all over the place. I'm still damp from the rain, but I'm looking forward to English. Also, there is no intermission. This is 1 hour 40, one act, so the next thing you see will be the curtain call. I'm just waiting for Aeron because we just both went to the restroom, but I'm in the lower lounge area here at the Tothames, and they have restrooms and they also have a water bottle station so you can refill your water bottle, and they also have some Tony Award nominations on the wall, which I think I showed you on our last trip, and they have a payphone. Throwback. So it's about 5 p.m. after that one act 3 p.m. matinee. Pretty dark now here in the city, still snowing it down. It's still not quite settling on the ground, but it looks pretty. It's not as bad as if it was to be raining on us. I don't know how long this continues. We shall see. We shall see how the snow progresses and whether we actually get settled snow this week. Gosh knows it's going to be cold enough. Over there you can see the beckoning lamp of the New Amsterdam Theatre, where Disney's Aladdin is playing. For us, we shall head somewhere to go and get some food, I expect, and maybe tell you a little bit more about English, the play that we just enjoyed. Okay, we made it as far as the breezeway entrance to the Minskoff Theatre, where the Lion King is playing, and we got snowed on. My goodness. There are parts of the street where the snow is starting to settle, but not many, not really. This is a new experience for us, never seen New York in the snow. I was going to tell you about the play English, which we just saw. So, English, which we just saw, set in Iran, and it's about a class of adult students being taught English as a foreign language, basically, and preparing for a particularly challenging English as a foreign language test. And it talks a lot about the intersection between language and identity, both cultural identity, but also like how you present yourself in the world, your perceptions of how you're perceived when speaking another language, and a lot of the insecurity and the challenges that can come with that. You had a bunch of different characters from completely different backgrounds with different extents of familiarity and comfort with the language and enjoyment of it as well. But you also saw that shift over the course of the thing. Just also a lot of interesting dynamics from it being a class of adult learners, which is something I've taught before back when I was a teacher, and I remember it well because I think it's a very interesting thing psychologically to go back into education as an adult. I think there can be a reluctance to it. There can be a lot to get past and to get around psychologically because it's sort of, there's an inherent feeling of inadequacy sometimes. But yeah, I thought it was very interesting device whereby the whole thing was done in English, but you could tell because of how they delivered it, whether it was done with an accent or whether it was done naturally in an American accent, which obviously that wouldn't actually be how it was actually heard in the real world. That was to indicate to us whether they were speaking English or speaking Farsi, which I thought was pretty great.
It was good as well to say like how people viewed accents, and if it was a bad thing to have an accent when speaking English, and then the different levels of kind of with some characters where they are closer to fluent in both, how then it's harder to differentiate which language they were saying until somebody said what language they were speaking at that point or from a different character.
Yeah. And how which language they were speaking in changed their personalities, but also how they perceived each other and the relationships they were able to forge with each other, and sort of a shared language brought people closer together, and it was, really interesting, really very, very interesting, and I'm sure would resonate hugely with people who speak multiple languages. I found it very powerful because of what it reminded me of working in education. Thought it was a really great play. Enjoyed very much. I was about to film this Titanic taxi ad, but it changed. It changed.
I was going to say it's funny because the gelato there is also in London.
It is.
So when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's really weird because they both kind of appeared at the same time in both countries.
Oh, Titanic Taxiad is back. But yes, Anita Gelato. Is it a dessert establishment? Is it a drag queen? Is it both? Here at the Marriott Marquis Hotel entrance, Elf may have closed recently, but the decals are still up here on the Nederlander Way. Is this Nederlander Way? Is that the one this one is?
Yeah.
Yes. The decals are still up on the breezeways if you want to pose. Look at my festive Disney hat. Look at that. Isn't it cute? Yes, next tenant at the Marquis Theatre, not very soon, but this season is going to be Stranger Things: The First Shadow. Of course, already running at the Phoenix Theatre in London. It's heading to Broadway. It's going to be at the Marquis, which is, you may remember from my last vlog, the theatre that you can find, signposted there, up the escalators inside of this hotel building. Yes, it's a theatre inside of a New York hotel. That's where Stranger Things is going to be, which from a commercial perspective I think makes a lot of sense. Will they start to do Stranger Things themed hotel rooms? I think they should. Now we're a little bit early. The curtain is not for another 2.5 hours really, but this is the next show we'll be seeing this evening here at the very purple Luntfontein. We'll be returning to Death Becomes Her, which we saw in previews on our last trip. Now, we got lottery tickets yesterday on the flight on the way here, as I mentioned. We got an email today, early this morning, advising us that Megan Hilty, pictured on the left there, would not be performing at this evening's performance, but a brilliant understudy from within the company would be playing the role, offering us the chance for a refund, because when an above-the-title star on Broadway is out of the show, you are entitled to a refund. We said, nah, we'll see it anyway. There's not a lot else on a Sunday night, and we've already seen Megan, though she is sensational. Later, we got an email to say that her co-star Jen Samard, pictured on the right there, is also out of the show, which I think makes it even more fun because we get to see both the covers go on together, which is quite a rare thing. It'll be special because they get to rehearse together. That's how the understudies rehearses with the other understudies, and you comparatively rarely get to see them perform together. So quite looking forward to it, actually, having seen both of the principal stars before, getting to see two understudies in starring leading lady roles in this musical comedy. We are passing through Times Square and you can see there is some snow settling. I will point you up so you can see the snow cascading through the air in the greater Times Square area. I mean, that's a sight, isn't it? Also, check out this huge ad for the little Olivier Award-winning show that could, Operation Mincemeat. Ah, and maybe happy ending ad up there with their much better new artwork because they've got Helen and Darren on it. That looks great. But yes, Operation Mincemeat coming to Broadway. Look, it says Operation Broadway down there. 16 weeks only at the Golden Theatre. As we continue to hide from the blizzard that is growing outside, we have taken to where else but the Disney store. And at last I see the light. I'm singing copyrighted music to cover the other copyrighted music in the hopes they cancel each other out. And just like Disney's Elsa, the cold may have never bothered us anyway, but the snow is in fact a lot. So we have taken refuge for dinner inside Applebee's. Only our second visit to an Applebee's. We're up on 50th? 50th, we're by the Winter Garden Theatre, in any case, where Back to the Future recently closed. But our drinks have arrived, and these are Rockin' Poppin' Shirleys. This is a Shirley Temple with a Pop Rocks twist. If I hold you over it, you may be able to hear. That's Pop Rocks you're hearing right there. We're going to do a taste test. Well, it's a nice tasting Shirley Temple. A bit more lemonade-y. A bit light on the grenadine, maybe. It's nice. I don't know that I'm tasting the Pop Rocks.
When you were left, you hit it right above one of them.
Yeah. Let's try and go for a Pop Rock. I don't think that worked, but it was fun trying. Can I scoop? I can't scoop. Meanwhile, our dreams of a winter wonderland still proving elusive. It is not really settling. Any white stuff you're seeing on the floor is salt and grit that has been put out to stop it. Food has arrived. Aeron James is enjoying a grilled chicken platter with garlic mashed potatoes and broccoli. Looks delicious and plentiful. And I have a 4-cheese mac and cheese with honey pepper chicken tenders. I'm very excited about it, regardless. And a big old breadstick. I'm happy about this. I'm very happy. Applebee's done. Our second ever visit to an Applebee's, although we'd never been to that one before. The other one was in Queens?
Yes.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought it was our third.
I think it's only our second. The first one was the semi-ironic visit with Brendan of Wait in the Wings. Yeah. Did you have a nice grilled chicken situation?
Yeah, it was great.
The first 80% of my dinner was delicious, and then the next 15% was like, oh, this is going in a strange direction. Then the last 5%, I had to bail out of it because the honey on the chicken and the cheese sauce of the mac and cheese started to combine in a way that God did not intend.
The garlic mash was a big slay.
It looked like a big sleigh.
No.
That looked nice. I'm very full now, and I've also, like, the drink was so sweet that I'm not even thinking about dessert until after the show. Then I might think about dessert, which is kind of the New York vibe. The snow's eased off again, I feel.
Yeah.
She's still
snowing.
Still coming down, but
It's more just like rain vibes.
I wouldn't call it a blizzard anymore. Anyway, we're heading down to the Luntfontein. We're actually quite excited about it now. We were a bit sad when we saw that Megan Hilty was going to be out because she's so good in the show. She's so good in it. Jen Samard is so good in it. Everyone's really good in it. We saw the full principal cast the last time around, so we've done that now. And like I said, we're actually more excited to see the two covers on together.
Yeah, that's made me a lot more excited.
Because I feel like it's then like there's like a bit of an imbalance just in terms of like the power dynamic because of the nature of the show as well, because it's these two divas facing off against each other. So to get to see the two covers doing that, I'm excited. I think this is going to be very fun, and I think it's going to be a fun audience because the folks who have decided not to get the refund and who have come out in a storm to see it are going to be very enthusiastic. And here she is serving lunch. It's the Luntfontein Theatre. I don't believe they've started letting audience members in yet, despite the snow. Oh, maybe they have. Maybe there is movement. We will find out shortly. We're going to queue up, do the usual things, that is bag check, security, show our tickets, and then hopefully head inside the theatre to go and see Death Becomes Her, a rare Sunday night show here on Broadway. I've showed you these before, but worth showing you again. The fun holographic posters outside. Hello, friends. This is very specific information. If you are ever finding yourself queuing up for the Luntfontein in a snowstorm, because they have, not every Broadway theatre has this, because they have a lobby area in the mezzanine, they can let people into the mezzanine early. So the mezzanine lounge is open already. The the house will only open for orchestra ticket holders at 7 p.m. But I think if you are an orchestra person, you can still go up and wait in the mezzanine if you choose to. But it's only like 5 more minutes, so we're just going to hang out here. We are inside, and it looks blue. This happened last time. In real life, it looks purple in here, and I mean, it's just a really cool auditorium for this show. Wait till you see how close we're sitting to that stage. But first of all, let me show you the merchandise at the back of the orchestra. So this is the gorgeous and aesthetic, very classy, very stylish merchandise booth here for Death Becomes Her. All sorts of fun little trinkets. You can see the prices there. Hoping you can read those. Showing all sorts of different things. We have pin sets, we have little compact mirrors, we have shot glasses, we have iridescent mugs. We have a t-shirt. I think I bought that t-shirt, the everything I do is for the gays. You can see it's wearing the enamel pins. That's the baseball cap Aeron is wearing today. We have Uh-Oh, She's Furious in a long sleeve, sort of a Spirit jersey style there. We have a key ring. We have magnets, we have tote bags, we have a Death Becomes Her logo tee. It's a little bit tie-dye. I don't know if that's really the vibe of the show, but it's sort of smoky, I guess, so it kind of works. There's a Death Becomes Her fan up there for clacking, if you feel like it. I'm just going to move here slightly so I can show you the bottle, the bottoms-up drinking receptacle lidded cup situation. I've forgotten how to make words today. You can also see a little Siempre Viva keyring or ornament. I think that's probably classed as an ornament there, hanging off of the mug that says, "Now a warning." I get that quote this time. I didn't last time. Now I know how to say it. I already told you about the tote bag. I see some stickers. Many things here for Death Becomes Her. Many, many things, so that you can have a souvenir and remember your visit to the show. Now, to the left of that merchandise booth, that is where you will find the orchestra bar. More of this upstairs if you are seated up there, or if they just have a preferable queue situation, which is entirely possible. You can see we have specialty drinks and premium drinks. You can get a Cosmo, now a Cosmo, a Madeline's Twist, or a Dr. Menville's Mule. That's $18 for a single, $32 for a double. And of course, they do come in the Death Becomes Her cups you're seeing there. And on premium drinks, the Potion, Prosecco, Aperol, Lime, and of course, Eternal Youth and Beauty. The Helene, which is it's a Bellini with hell on the front, and the Siempre Viva, which is the same as the Potion. Only this one has vodka, Kahlua, Starbucks cold brew coffee. Wow, that's why it's a premium. There you go. $24 for a single of one of those, $38 for a double. Now, when I was showing you the auditorium before, I was stood here and Aeron pointed out these little numbers. That's because these are little standing positions where you can buy, presumably standing room only, tickets. I don't know under what circumstances these are sold, if it's just when the show is selling out. But to give you an idea, I'm stood at position 113, and that is my view there of the stage. So we've just been shown to our seats here in the orchestra of the Lunt-Fontanne, and I just want to show you a fun little irregularity. So they are in order, but that's 12, then 10, then 6, then 8, then 4, then 2. It's only even numbers on this side, but 6 and 8, obviously the wrong way around. Anyway, this is the view of the gorgeous, very purple, very stylish, very campy auditorium. It's all chandeliers and fake mirrored walls, and this is our proximity to the ruched curtain and the stage of Death Becomes Her. We can see into the orchestra pit because I'm standing. I'll sit down in a moment and show you the view from my face, but how fun to be so close. We were sat up there before, up in the back row of the front half of the mezzanine, I believe, is where we were previously. You can see all the lighting rigs up there, the many, many things that go into putting these Broadway shows together for a couple of hours every night. But now we're down here. This is now the view from my seated face. I don't think I've showed you this already. I think this was the next thing I had to do. I've just been taking playbill pictures. There it is. So we had emails to tell us about the casting shuffle. There's also, of course, the cast board as you come into the theatre. That cast board is in the box office area. But also, we have these little slips that tell you the full company at this performance, including, let's name these talented performers rather than just saying the understudies. That is Kaylee Cronin playing Madeline Ashton at this performance, and Natalie Charles Ellis playing Helen Sharp. Because of them and their talent and their craft in preparing for these roles and being ready at a moment's notice, 8 performances a week, the show is able to go on. So we are incredibly grateful, and we are excited to see them together. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm blue, daboo-dee, daboo-da, daboo-dee, daboo-da. I'm telling you, it's like violet purple in real life. But we do, look how blue we look. We're the Blue Man Group. We closed off Broadway and we came to the Lunt-Fontanne. I never told you about the partial viewer English earlier. Absolutely perfect and completely fine until one silent moment of staging towards the end, but nothing important really happened from what I could tell.
It was good.
We saw the end of the moment, we just didn't see it beginning.
It'd take us a show that really used the sides for that theatre to have bad views from most seats.
Yeah, and the set piece was very clever to not block sight lines. We'll let you know about this one, because technically we're in partial view here as well, but you made a discovery just about the standing room at the back of the orchestra.
It's a good view. It will cut off all the top part because of the overhang, but if you're short, don't do it, because my head was higher than the barrier, so I would have seen it, but anybody shorter than 5'8", 5'7", you potentially would literally be smaller than the standing space.
Yeah, because you're not that little. But yes, what I'm quite excited about as well, and I wouldn't encourage this for your first visit because you might find it distracting, but because we've seen the show before and we know what happens, we can so see into that wing. And I find usually when I can see fully into a wing, I do glance and I'm like, what's getting prepped over there? What prop is that coming out next? So I'm kind of excited to get a closer up look in the sense we're closer to the stage, but also that kind of behind the scenes element as well.
And Kate's here.
And Kate's here. Oh my gosh, yes. So when we were waiting in line, we had told the group chat as an update, like both covers were now on for the leading ladies. And Kate was going to go see something else, but it's Kate's last night of their trip. And Kate surprised us in line at the box office, was like, I'm going to see what the cheapest ticket they have is. And they, probably because of the weather today, were still selling rush seats. So Kate's up in the circle seeing the same show as us.
In the mezzanine.
In the mezzanine, I'm so sorry.
Apologies for language wrong.
I've been doing very well at code switching. I've been saying intermission and everything. We just had fun. Much fun was had. That was great. That was great. Yay, shout out to understudies. Sensational, different performances, which I think is the key to a great understudy show, is when they have just enough room to be able to do something individual that's like more suited to their skill set and their interpretation of a character. Because there were definite differences, especially in like the take on Madeline, but so fun, so campy, just great material. Had a great time. Very cool being that close to the stage. Love, Death Becomes Her. Can recommend regardless of who you see in the damn show. It's still trying to snow, but not really. And we are going to go and get Junior's from Junior's restaurant and their world famous cheesecake. I don't know which flavour I will get yet, but I will get some cheesecake and I will be very happy about it. Oh, she's windy. And obviously when you come to Junior's post-show, you get cheesecake. Mr. Aeron James with his signature chocolate mousse over there, and a Shirley Temple, because the Junior Shirley Temple is in fact that girl. I'm enjoying brownie explosion cheesecake. The plate is warm, that bodes well. And Kate's got a carrot cake going on over there. Not the carrot cake cheesecake, but just the carrot cake. That is how Kate is rolling this evening. I'm very excited about this moment right here. Junior's restaurant and Junior's cheesecake, always a good time. It's become a tradition of us ending our trips there with our friends. And tonight is not the last night of our trip, but it was the last night of Kate's, who is off back, but is coming to New York again soon, because Kate does that. We meanwhile are walking back to our accommodations,
Yeah, if you thought our travel diary was crazy, Kate's
We're
is
calm
crazier.
compared to Kate Ranking. Listen, I don't remember this specifically, this
No, I
poster.
think that's new.
Stay gold.
That was a written piece.
Yes, yes it was.
Yeah.
Well, stay gold, stay gold. I want to tell you about the partial view at Death Becomes Her. I would not encourage those. It was great to have that proximity. I would not encourage it for your first time seeing the show, because there were a handful of moments and a couple visual gags that were obscured for me. I knew what they were, but it's to do with where they placed the furniture in the house scenes.
Where Ernest is blocked.
Some ensemble blocking moments as well. I was like, you could just take a couple steps back and there would be no sightline problems here. But broadly, like, it's a fun musical comedy. It didn't matter that much. We have had a fun-filled New York and Broadway day. Done a lot today.
Yeah.
Had a great day.
Yeah.
Lots of food, lots of shows, lots of friends. Lots of compliments on this hat from just aggressive strangers on the street. That's been nice. We may see you tomorrow. Ooh, this is icy. I'm gonna walk that way. Happy Monday, everybody. I mean, it's not. Technically, it is Blue Monday.
No, only in the UK.
Only in the UK, which we aren't.
And only because Sky Travel made it a thing because they wanted to make money.
Oh, wow. Then I take everything back. It is the day of the inauguration, which is not depressing.
MLK Day, isn't it?
It's also Martin Luther King Jr. Day, yes. So it's a holiday weekend here in New York. We never plan our trips around these holiday weekends.
We tend to always be on one.
We always seem to find one. I mean, I just think they have a lot of holiday weekends in the US. But it is nice and sort of, like, still a bit snowy. This is a good level of snow, I feel, for us to be walking around the sidewalks. And yeah, see, look at these nice snowy Manhattan views. It's like the establishing shots of Friends during the festive episodes. If you know, then you know. We just enjoyed Lenwich sandwiches, which always hit the spot. I have a nice chicken cutlet, Parmigiana. We got mozzarella, we got lettuce and tomato. We have thick chicken. We have that nice, good marinara sauce, I think is what that is. This is my go-to Lenwich sandwich. Aaron's got a steakwich on gluten-free bread. Part of the reason we keep coming here. British people think of this like Subway, but just thicker, so much thicker. And now we are heading to go and get Mr. Aeron James a Dunkin' coffee, because he's hooked. Hooked, I tell you. Oh, that's interesting architecture on the corner there. What was I going to tell you about today? I don't know if we ever really spoke about Death Becomes Her, other than the brief words I shared about it afterwards. Perhaps by the time you're seeing this, I will have released a full review on YouTube. If not, I do plan to. There will be a Death Becomes Her review coming, because having now seen the show twice, I feel like it's given me a thorough enough overview to really talk about it. And I might not mention the non-principal performance in that video, so I want to say here how fantastic Kaylee and Natalie both were in those roles, and how special it was to get to see them to do it together. Fun to sit at the front, not necessarily perfect for a first visit. That seating section on the right hand side is fine, I just want to be a little further back. Also, I couldn't tell if I could actually hear the stage management talking in the wings on a couple of times. Could you hear this during Death Becomes Her?
I heard a cough.
I heard voices, or I'm just hearing voices. Perhaps it's the jet lag. We're heading to go and get some gluten-free black and white cookies for Aaron from William Greenberg Desserts, which is over on the east side of Central Park. So we're going to cross through the park and hopefully enjoy more cute wintry snowy scenes. And then we might this afternoon do one of those New York tourist activities we've never done before, like go to a museum or go to Bloomingdale's. Neither of those we have done before, so that's exciting. And we shall, of course, take you along with us for a chilly day in Manhattan. My phone reliably tells me it's 3 degrees Celsius this afternoon, but it feels like, no, -3, sorry. It's -3 this afternoon, but it feels like -12 because of the wind chill. It does feel like the coldest day I've gone outside in a while.
I felt this cold in the UK like last week.
Fine. And yes, seeing an off-Broadway play later, but a whole day ahead of us between now and then, everybody. I got a hot chocolate from Dunkin'. I haven't tried it yet. I will let you know what it's like. But we found the American Museum of Natural History, aka the Natural History Museum.
Okay. The museum where Night at the Museum happens.
Oh, of course it's the museum where Night at the Museum happens. Ah, there you go. Which, fun fact, is being adapted for the stage.
Alan Menken.
Yeah, Alan Menken. Writing some songs for it. This is one of the museums we could visit this afternoon. This or the Met, I think. This is on the west side of Central Park. The Met is sort of similarly high up, a little bit higher maybe, over on the east.
The thing is, though, if we're going to do here, we have to do this first.
Yeah, I want to walk through the park now, so... I mean, we could come back this way this afternoon. We have a lot of time ahead of ourselves. So, it's an option. Do we feel like art or do we feel like history? I'll let you decide in the comments. Unfortunately, we'll have already decided by then.
The thing is, we've also never been to Grand Central, and we've not seen Winnie the Pooh.
So we have just literally stepped into the park. Currently, as it stands, I'm stopping every few feet to show you nice snowy views. But look how pretty. Look how pretty Aeron James is taking this selfie. Look how nice it is. Ah, this is your sign to visit New York in January and hope that it snows. Look at that. How beautiful. We're on a snowy bridge to show you this view. There is that Manhattan skyline on the southmost end of the park. And you can see this lake is frozen. Someone is walking a dog on the very edge of the frozen lake. There's bits of it that aren't. A little flurry just blew down from the trees. But yeah, Central Park is a winter wonderland today. Frozen lakes, snow on the ground. Among the sights of Central Park is Belvedere Castle, which gives you a lovely view of some of the more northern areas of the park. There is a helicopter going over us. Is it an Uber helicopter? It's hard to say. But it also gives you a view just over here, and we can get a better one in just a second, of the Delacorte Theatre. That is New York's open-air theatre where they do Shakespeare in the park. And this would normally be a lake if you come here when it's not a popsicle. Sometimes you can see swimming turtles, but not currently, unless they feel like ice skating. I'm going to head down these not too slippery steps. Don't fear for me, Argentina. And then we can see the entire thing there. They are hard at work. This has been under refurbishment for a couple of summers now. I don't think it's been open since we first started coming to New York, but they are doing work to upgrade it, I guess. I think they're increasing the capacity. That's what I just overheard someone saying. Shakespeare in the Park will return. It's been featured at other parks in the interim. They've been doing stuff at places like Prospect Park. They've also got a little gift shop with cute Central Park merchandise. If you want a Central Park pullover, little one for bebés. Central Park bucket hat. We've got pencils, we've got tokens, we've got books, wall calendars. These roll neck sweaters look actually very cute. Aaron's pointing to this cushion. Oh, that is cute. All of the different parts of Central Park. That same design is also here on these tumblers. And a lot of these things, because they're put together by the Central Park Conservancy, they help to benefit the park as well, and the money goes back towards that work to make sure that it stays nice and is taken care of the year round. I am a big fan of these slightly sparkly pigeons. This is just idyllic, honestly. Very peaceful, quite quiet. I'm surprised because it's a holiday there aren't people everywhere, but there's probably parts of the park where there's lots of like kids and families having fun snow days, and I think not everyone has the day off work. It's just lovely. Because we were in the city and it wasn't settling, I didn't think that it would get like this. We have made it to the delicious William Greenberg desserts up here on 82nd Street, Central Park East, where Aaron is going to grab himself some gluten-free black and white cookies. And I'm going to go for, I've seen these before, a regular black and white cookie, but I'm also going to have it blue and white this time because I've been curious. So those will be our quintessential New York snacks. If you don't know the black and white cookie, a New York delicacy. So I was busy vlogging. Aaron received important information. What did he just tell you about the blue and white cookie?
It's just vanilla.
It's just so it's just the white flavour.
Yeah.
Nice. I like the white flavour. The white is my favourite part of a black and white cookie.
Yeah.
So that is nice. That is exciting. I might try the blue and white one now and let you know what it's like. But yes, big fan of William Greenberg desserts because we love a black and white cookie and we love somewhere that is gluten-free inclusive. We'd love to see it. And as always, many thanks for the recommendation from the lovely person who bought Aeron gluten-free black and white cookies at our first ever New York meetup in Central Park 2 years ago. We found where the families are. Everyone is sledding. This looks fun. Oh, and the sun's just come out, making it marginally less cold. The blue and white cookie is happening. Black and white cookies, delicious. Iconic New York cuisine staple. It's good. It's good. Does it taste blue? Am I getting blue? Am I detecting hints of blue? I think I do. I think I do taste blue. Doesn't have the duality of flavour that the black and white does. Which is the whole point of the black and white cookie. Aeron, demonstrate for us, please. Right, this is all the same flavour, but in 2 different colours. Good for novelty events. I guess you could get... They do like red and white ones as well, so you could get blue and white ones and red and white ones if you were feeling patriotic, which, not today, depending on your event. This is Central Park Zoo, which we have walked down to. We haven't actually gone into the zoo, we're outside, but you can come to this point here without paying for admission, which it's worth saying, admission is really not that much, because it's not a very big zoo, but it is a cute zoo. And you can see the sea lions swimming. Are they sea lions or seals? And is that in fact the same thing? We've just been reflecting on the fact that one of the last times we were in Central Park and the last time we were at the zoo was our trip 2 trips ago in July, and it was so warm, it was ungodly hot. And listen, I'm not one to complain about the temperature and the weather. Roll clip.
But he complained a lot.
I have recoiled at the dense heat I have stepped into. I'm not normally this much of a baby. My God, was it warm. You can see the sweat in my hair. Water fountains needed. Because we are, oh, breeze. Cats, one of the first musicals that I was really raised on. My God, it's hot in this heat. But it's completely different now. We were just passing a spot where we sat on benches and we were like dying of heat. And now, this time around, the lake where we sat by was frozen.
I didn't realise this, but the shop for the zoo is called a zootique.
The zootique. Oh my gosh. I mean, very tempted to do the zoo again, because it's really very inexpensive. $22.95 for adult entry to the zoo. Do we zoo? We decided not to zoo. We have instead ventured down to Bloomingdale's, iconic department store. We have never explored Bloomingdale's before, so that is the next focus of the day. We're in a lift. Elevator. I just saw a quite nice cardigan that was $1,500, so it's going well. Oh, we're here. We're in kitchenware. I don't know why. This is a very nice kitchenware. Aeron has a sample from the Nespresso stand. We are now in fine china. Everyone move incredibly slowly. Again, it's all very pretty. Okay, we weren't even trying to find Wicked products like we were on our last trip, and we spent an entire day searching for Wicked brand collaborations, but we have found them nonetheless. Truly cannot escape the Wicked movie and its marketing machine, nor do we want to. You can get yourself some Voluspa. Pink goes good with green mini tin candle duos. Bewitching Banyan Forest, perfectly pink yuzu, or the same sense in diffusers. How lovely. We have arrived at a historic landmark as sung about in a musical theatre adjacent TV series.
Lexington.
Yes, where are we, Aeron James?
Lexington and 52nd Street.
On Lexington and 52nd Street, home to the world's most famous subway grate. So it's a song in Smash. I don't think it's going to be in the Broadway musical, sadly, but it's sung in Smash. I think it's over here by Joe DiMaggio, as played by Will Chase in the musical Bombshell. About Marilyn Monroe's PR stunt in New York, promoting Billy Wilder's 7-Year Itch, I think, is the film. But it's the subway grate that she stood over in the white dress. I think it's this. I think it's literally this here, because apparently it's the southwest corner of Lexington and 52nd, which would be here. maybe? Or it's somewhere near here. It's one of these subway grates. Truthfully, the actual history of it means less to me than the Smash song. But that's fun. Lexington and 52nd Street. If you haven't, go stream the song right now. It's a banger. Okay, we've left Bloomingdale's. We're now in FAO Schwartz. I interrupt this broadcast to bring to your attention that they're playing Disappear from the Dear Evan Hansen cast recording. No one deserves to. They are. A choice. Also, obligatory shot of the Jellycat Diner. Jellycat from London made their way to New York. You can get yourself a bagel, a waffle, some pancakes, all with a face. And they cook them for you on the little grill there. I am joking, of course, because they are plush, but they pretend to cook them for you. It's very sweet. Oh, someone's ordered some pancakes. If we wait here just a moment, we can see them being heated up by this employee who definitely wants to be on Broadway. Continuing with the plush theme, my ears are skeweth. Something's going on here. Continuing with the plush theme, we have headed to the Greater Bryant Park area. We are seeking out the New York Public Library, which we have never visited before, but we have meant to visit for a long time now, for many trips. Ooh, a wave of heat just hit me from the subway. That was beautiful. The same thing happened in July, and I hated it. We are seeking out one of the world's most famous plush bears, who we will hopefully be able to find at the New York Public Library. Further information as and when we do. Here it is. The New York Public Library on street signs. Anybody? I think this is 40th Street and something. 40th Street and something is where you will find the New York Public Library. Oh, it might not be open. She closed, yes. For Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the New York Public Library is closed. But I can tell you what street it was on. Is this Madison Ave? No, this is 5th Ave. It's on 5th and 40th in Manhattan, and it does not open on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We are pivoting instead to Grand Central Station. It's grand and it's central. Anytime we ever do rail transit in or out of New York, we've always been to Penn Station. We've never been to Grand Central, and we're not going anywhere. We just want to go look at it. I look very funny because it has become colder, and so I have wrapped my enormous scarf around me, and I look like a bear. But I'm comfortable with that. Here it is, the impressive architecture of Grand Central Station, and I know what you're thinking. Yes, this was the train station featured in the popular film Madagascar. You would be correct. There's a lot going on here at Grand Central. There are public restrooms, there are eateries, there is Van Leeuwen ice cream, there is the Long Island Railroad. Lobster rolls, all good things. Next to the dining concourse is this area here, and if you stand on opposite corner, I think you have to be on opposite corners, you can hear what the person on the other corner is saying if they speak into the wall. It's like it vibrates through the wall. It's featured in the stage musical New York, New York. That's how I knew about it, in any case. But yeah, it's fun. We just tried it out and it really works. I'm going to test it out and see if you can hear it. Aeron's at the opposite one to me. Aeron James, are you in location? I can hear you. I hope you can hear him, tiny people in my camera. He's all the way, I'll show you where he is. Also much very grand architecture, as the name would suggest. Thus far, no escaped jungle animals. This is the real view here on the main concourse. Amazing ceiling, enormous windows. This is Grand Central Station. This is the bit from Madagascar. It's all coming back to me now. There you go. Okay, it is some hours later. Oh, hello, Westway Diner. It's some hours later, and we kind of hit a wall in terms of our planning and what exactly we wanted to do around 4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah. This happens to us sometimes on a day when we're just in the city for the whole day, and it's too late to then go back, to come back in for a show. I mean, where we're staying this time, it probably wasn't, but it would still feel weird to do that, but you're not quite dinner hungry yet, so we ended up kind of walking to various places, seeing if we felt like it. Eventually went for dinner at Nizza, which is pizza, but with an N. Another place that we like. We were introduced to there by some friends on our last trip, also gluten-free inclusive in their Italian options. We
Very
both
good
had
thing,
gnocchi.
'cause you can also have pizza there, which is gluten-free as well, so it's like pretty much everything.
We both had delicious, was it brick oven based gnocchi? Brick oven baked gnocchi. Delicious parmesan and sauce, and it was very good with an equally lovely glass of Chardonnay. Very tasty. We are now killing time before Kowalski, which is a 7:30 curtain, which feels so strange to me. We have had two 7:30s 2 nights in a row, which feels so strange in Manhattan because
it's like the norm in the UK.
it is the norm in the... Oh, that's a fun looking dart. Wow. Yeah, obviously 7:30 is the majority of West End shows, the majority of British shows. Almost everything is the 7:30. And here it seems so weird because usually something is on the hour. It could be a 7, it could be an 8, but almost everything is on the hour. So weird. But it's also a Monday night, so not many shows on, period. And it's only 85 minutes in duration, so we'll be done by 8:45 because it's a Monday and because it's the day of the inauguration. None of our friends are really in Midtown. So we'll probably just head back.
Yeah, grab dessert, walk back.
Get snacks. And also head back to the warm because it is... it's specifically colder today. And we were walking around earlier like, it's not that cold, it's not that bad. By the afternoon and evening.
It is, I will say though, it is cold. I feel it on my ears almost, but I'm not actually, like my body has not been that cold.
My arms are getting there, but I think it's because of that time we spent out earlier and like the cold has just got to my bones now.
Yeah.
Also, Heather's the musical fans, there's a 7-Eleven right there.
We've still not actually been in one.
No, we're going to head down to Drama Bookshop to go browse a little, shop a little, kill some time somewhere warm. Then we'll come back up, might go to the Target right next to the new 42nd Street Studios, which is where the Duke Theatre is, where we are seeing Kowalski. We'll go into the theatre probably about half an hour before because I need to pick up tickets. We're currently walking between 8th and 9th Avenue on 42nd Street. Yes, this is the 42nd Street. Here at the Drama Bookshop, as well as many drama books, we currently have on display a section dedicated to cabaret, including some artifacts from previous productions as well as the ongoing Broadway production. There you have the makeup chart for the current MC Adam Lambert, as well as some props there. There you go. More at this next one over here as well. We have some more little props from the stage production. We have a pineapple, we have a newspaper, we have the Sally Bowles wig on a wig head used before Gail Rankin. We have, that's interesting, that's a fake egg, but there was a real raw egg inside. They do swallow a real raw egg on stage every night. I have had that confirmed from within the show. And some Ernst Ludwig business cards as well. There you go, fans of cabaret, come check out this cool display here at the Drama Bookshop. Cabaret costumes in the window as well. The Drama Bookshop, as mentioned before, also a great place to work, to have a coffee. The current specialty drink they're offering is the Don't Tell Matcha. That is also a pun on Don't Tell Mama from Cabaret. You can get published play scripts and also memoirs, biographies, all sorts of theatrical books. You can get librettos, various things at the Drama Bookshop. We were just reflecting on the fact there are many American plays. I want to buy the scripts, but they get published so much faster in the UK and they have better covers. Sue me, they look nicer. I'm sorry, I don't like the single colour generic font play script covers. I'm not a fan. And here it is, not the Todd Hames Theatre where we were yesterday afternoon to see English, but right next to it, the new 42nd Street Studios, specifically the Duke, which is a black box venue within that space. We believe we have not been inside yet. We will let you know afterwards, but you can see some advertisement for the currently showing play Kowalski, an off-Broadway play, still in previews, but now accepting reviews, which is what I'm about to go and do, everybody. We're going to go inside. It's starting in just about half an hour's time. We're going to pick up our tickets, go and see some theatre. Oh my god, hey, after an entire day being chilly, I finally found a way to wrap my scarf in a way that's very warm. This is a success. Yeah, didn't film inside the auditorium because there was signage making it quite clear that that was prohibited. So respected that. And so what can we tell you about Kowalski? To curb some expectations, it seems from the description like it ought to be a two-hander. It's not. You would think that it would be a very minimal black box set, and it isn't. No. Full cottage setup going on. I mean, very, very Tennessee Williams play-esque. And what's really interesting about it is, I think you have to have seen, I so rarely say this, you probably really have to have seen A Streetcar Named Desire before going to see it. Not just because it's all about him first, Tennessee Williams, the playwright, first meeting Marlon Brando and considering him for the role against his better judgment, against his initial inclinations, whatever, prior to Marlon Brando becoming a star.
There's a lot of moments where you have to know who Stanley is.
You have to
get the moment to go.
But also it becomes such an allegory for it. There's so many clever parallels between. That's really the thing that it has, like, beyond at its basis, it's just a quite straightforward play about a meeting between two personalities, and there's a tension and there's conflict and whatever. We've seen that a lot before on stage. It's the parallels it draws.
It's similar a bit to the Motive and the Q.
It is similar to Motive and the Q, yeah, but it's the parallels between their dynamic and Blanche and Stanley's. That's where it gets interesting, and when they then introduce another player who becomes a pawn in their sort of tension, and like, is there a sexual element to the tension and the questions you begin to ask yourself? I will be reviewing it somewhere on the internet, but that was Kowalski off Broadway. Did enjoy. Nice to see just a very fresh Broadway play. Nice to see that side of the New York theatre industry as well. And you were saying how crazy it is that it's so proximal to...
Yeah, next door to literally a Broadway house.
My hand's cold. Oh, the wind chill. Oh, Aeron decided earlier walking down the streets is colder because of the breeze. Oh gosh. We'll see you later. I got a strawberry cheese pie, a piece of strawberry cheese pie, and the very nice cashier was the 12 millionth person today to say she liked my hat. Yay, Disneyland Paris, and this fluffy Mickey Mouse hat. Also, I complain about the cold, but look how quiet Times Square is because of the weather. It is very chilly, but it's also a Monday night. But if it could always be like this, I would be thrilled. Yes, they do always play the Alicia Keys song in Manhattan. We're heading to the Hershey store to get what? Say it with me, regular viewers. A giant Reese's peanut butter cup for Mr. Aeron James. Mr. Hershey, which I assume is this gentleman's name, has been to see Six the Musical at the Lena Horne Theatre and is holding a chocolate bar fit for a queen. Hershey's have done Broadway show collaborations in the past. In fact, if you look in your playbill, often there is a special deal for a free chocolate bar when you buy a chocolate bar at the Hershey store, I think. Something like that. Something we've actually never taken advantage of, but you should. But in days gone by, you've actually been able to get specialty wrapped Broadway show themed chocolate bars when they've done different collabs. I have just walked around the store and I can't seem to find one because they've changed the layout of it slightly. But there are many delicious things you can get here, even if they aren't Broadway themed. Talk us through what you got in it, Aeron James.
We got Reese's Pieces, Reese's Cereal, marshmallows, and sprinkles. It's different this time.
How exciting. This is how the magic happens, everybody. Good morning. Hello.
Hi.
As you can tell from our appearance today, it's sensationally warm here in Manhattan, here in Central Park. Look at it. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Still blanketed in snow, both because all of these grassy areas don't get footfall to take it away, but also because it's still very, very cold. I woke up this morning and I checked the forecast on my phone and it said, again, this is in Celsius, that the temperature outside was minus 13, but it felt like minus 17. Minus 17? I don't know if I've ever been in minus 17. before. I sort of didn't think humans could survive that far below zero, but once again, reminding you that I don't know that much about science. Anyway, we're having a nice day. What's on the docket today, Aeron James?
We're seeing Gypsy tonight.
We are seeing Gypsy, a musical fable. Written, of course, by Arthur Lawrence, Julie Stein, and Stephen Sondheim. It is being revived on Broadway at the Majestic Theatre. Our first time, however, seeing Gypsy on Broadway.
Yes.
Or in America at all.
Yes.
We both saw Imelda do it. Did you see it in Chichester or London?
I saw it in Chichester.
So did I.
We were sat right next to her husband.
Oh, that's nice. And then I saw a concert version where 6 or 7 different actresses shared the role of Rose, including Sally Ann Triplett and Rebecca Locke and Kiala Settle and Tracy Bennett and Samantha Spiro, Melanie LaBarry. Now we're seeing Audra McDonald, Broadway's most decorated Tony Award-winning performer.
We already saw perform a song in the UK.
Oh yeah, because she did it at her concert.
Yeah.
Have you seen Audra on stage before in a show, though?
Not in a show.
Big day for you. Big night. I've technically not seen Audra in a musical. I saw her do Lady Day, which some debate around the extent to which that was a musical or a play, because she still sang a lot, and I've seen her in concert twice. But very excited to see this evening. Who are you most excited to see after Audra McDonald?
Leslie Margarita if she's on.
But
I'm
also...
not that cold. I'm not that cold.
How are you not that cold?
Quite warm.
I mean, all the insulated, like... My neck is currently very warm because I've got this ginormous scarf wrapped around me, but I'm wearing like a thinner trouser today in my all beige ensemble, and so my calves are cold.
I'm drinking a nice drink, so it all does not matter.
One of our theatrical resolutions for the year, which is what, Aeron James?
Tick off the new Broadway theatre.
Yeah, visiting a new Broadway theatre to us, which is going to be the Majestic, previously home to the Phantom of the Opera for more than 3 decades. That closed during our first ever trip to New York. We got here and Phantom left. Was it something we said? And now it's been refurbished. Pictures look great. Excited to see the interior and to see a show there.
Yeah.
With Gypsy. With this one, I wonder if the conversation beyond the Tony Awards will become like, because this is the first time a black actress has played Mama Rose on Broadway, will the conversation become like, this is the production for other talented black actresses to play the role, and who else do we want to see do that? Like, do we want to see like Cheryl Lee Ralph do Gypsy on Broadway? Like, just off the top of my head. Passing again the iconic Tavern on the Green as we head towards that over snowy paths. What a magical and only slightly slippery trip this is. Hello, it's me again, your friendly neighborhood walrus. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like I look like right now, because of the very flat head.
I just felt like a sloth at points, but that's just me.
This is not my most fetching look. We just had lunch, walked down through Central Park, had lunch at Holdfast, which is the new place that everyone goes to after everyone stopped going to the last place that everyone went to, and soon maybe everyone will go somewhere else. But currently, it's Holdfast. I had seasoned chicken bites, which was so good, and we had lunch with our friend, you know him, you love him, the West End performer Jacob Fowler, aka Heather's most prolific JD in the history of the musical. He's doing a couple of performances this week in New York, including his New York Cabaret debut solo show at Green Room 42. It will have already happened by the time you're seeing this, but if you watched it in person or via live stream, let us know in the comments. But yeah, had a lovely lunch with Jacob. We are now at Schmackery's. Yes, for our first Schmackery's of the trip. We passed by yesterday, but they were closed. With it being a holiday, that taxi had a Today Tix ad. It doesn't anymore. But we're going to browse the Schmackery's offers of the day as we steadily freeze to death. It's so cold. Currently lots of show-themed cookies here at Schmackery's. We have the Cookies and Cream Boulevard for, of course, Sunset Boulevard at the St. James. We have the Rouge Velvet for Moulin Rouge just down the street at the Al Hirschfeld. We have the Stay Gold cookie for the Tony Award-winning Best Musical The Outsiders at the Jacobs. That is also cornflour-based, so it's also gluten-free, as is the Shucked cookie making a return. Shucked currently on tour across the US, and by the time you're seeing this, it's probably been announced for London this summer in 2025, unless my intel is very incorrect. But but it comes from very good authority. And we also have the Kaleidoscope cookie over there, of course, for Hell's Kitchen at the Schubert. There you go. And many other flavours besides, which aren't show-themed, but are just as delicious. We also have drinks. They can also do ice cream stuff, hot drinks. You can warm up with apple cider. It's all going on here at Schmackery's. We're going to sit in the window and enjoy our cookies. Aeron did, in fact, get the Stay Gold Outsiders cookie. Lovely to have a new gluten-free flavour. And I got... This is... the Cookies and Cream Sunset Boulevard situation. I can't remember the name exactly, but it's kind of like blood-stained. If you've seen the show, then you know. And this black and white and red aesthetic, Jamie Lloyd would love this cookie. I hope he's tried it. I hope the whole cast have. Update, we are in fact walking just one street over to the theatres that these cookies are themed to, so we can take photos of the cookies outside of the marquees, so we can be cookie influencers. Because, you know, we have the passion, we have the drive, we have the time. So that is our next move. Aeron was saying there are so many show-themed cookies there at the moment because it's Broadway month at Schmackery's. So January is the time to go. They're also expanding. They've recently opened a new location in Jersey.
They've got 2 different new locations, I think.
Multiple new locations. So be on the lookout for a Schmackery's near you. And if you live in the UK and you want Schmackery's there, just like we do, be sure to let them know. At Schmackery's.
West End version.
Come to London. We can help you come up with the flavours.
Get West End collabs.
Yeah. Passing in front of the El Hirschfeld. Get ready to wave to yourselves. There we are. There we are. Wave. Oh, that was weird. Ah. I nearly fell down. We're approaching my favourite street. Well, we're on my favourite street in the whole world, 45th Street, but particularly between 7th and 8th Avenue is my favourite part of it.
I don't know what Smash will do with that space.
Yeah? Yes? As soon as this pulls away, you'll be able to see. Yes, so Water for Elephants currently advertising all over the side of the Imperial Theatre there, which is about to be home to Smash this spring.
This whole building is put into planning permission to be
They have, yes, there is talk of redevelopment of the Imperial Theatre. They have put in for planning permission, as you say. There is also advertisement on the corner here for Urinetown at New York City Centre Encores and Operation Mincemeat. Nice to see more Operation Mincemeat ads out in the wild. Now there is some change here on 45th Street. Pretty much every show on this street was a new one in the spring. Many of them now changing. Stereophonic has recently concluded its run here. This is going to be Operation Mincemeat here at the Golden. Next up, this is one of, I think this is the only one actually that's staying. The Outsiders will stay here at the Jacobs. Won the Tony Award for Best New Musical. Across the street, that was Water for Elephants. It's now going to be Smash. What was Suffs, R.I.P. Suffs, down at the music box is going to be The Importance of Being Earnest. Buena Vista Social...
Picture Dorian Gray.
What did I say?
Importance of Being Earnest.
Yeah, not that one. Wrong Oscar Wilde. It is going to be the picture of Dorian Gray with Sarah Snook. Excuse me, Importance of Being Earnest is not coming to Broadway. We have Buena Vista Social Club down here at the Schoenfeld, which was The Notebook over at the booth. It was Kimberly Akimbo and then The Roommate. And it's going to be the play John Proctor is the Villain. Aeron getting that cookie content here at the Outsiders. Stay gold, Schmackery's. Stay gold. Stay gold. You stay gold. It's like a threat. I hate that I just had this idea, and at some point this joke will get old. Maybe it already has, but I just made the Sunset Boulevard cookie do the walk down Schubert Alley over to the theatre. And now I'm going to eat it. We're going to do a taste test. The frosting, so good. It still has that slightly salty kick, which is just a thing with Schmackery's.
I love the salty kick.
I love the salty kick. But if you don't like that in your cookies, if you just want them sweet, then Schmackery's may not be the cookie for you. Lord knows there are a lot of cookie options here in the city, but I love that about these. The frosting, 10 out of 10. I love the slightly brittle quality to the bake as well. It's so good. We are hiding in the not warm but slightly sheltered breezeway area outside the Minskoff Theatre where The Lion King is currently playing, and I'm going to warm myself up by doing Lion King charades, and I am going to be an ensemble track and Aeron has to guess what it is.
Are you the spider dress?
What?
The spider dress.
What's the spider dress?
Where she's like loads of tarantulas all around, all the ants, is it?
Do they do that?
Yeah, because when she spins, because she's on point.
I was being blade of grass.
Oh no, because she does that, because she goes across the stage on point. In ballet, and she has, you know, the one that's like circular, like black, like a spiral dress.
Yeah, blade of grass. I know what it is, but I don't want this to end. You're the giraffe. Yay! Some hours later, when did we last speak? How have you been? No time has passed for you. I've aged years.
What's happened since?
I've had several drinks. I haven't. I've had
No, you have.
a wine and a martini.
Oh, I've had 2 old-fashioned.
There you go. Went to meet a British producer friend, spent our afternoon with the lovely Jacob Fowler,
Yes.
and then met New York friends for drinks and some bar snacks at Blue Lady? Lady Blue?
Lady Blue, I thought.
Blue Ivy? Blue Ivy Carter? Renaissance?
No, I think it's Lady Blue.
There you go. We are now headed to Gypsy.
But also, this street is the street.
This is 145. We're on 46th. We want 44th, you're right.
Yeah.
We need to go 2 streets down. 20 minutes to Curtain, everybody. 20, maybe less. Perhaps less. Perhaps like maybe 18 minutes to Curtain. And that's 5 past Curtain. That's not fake o'clock Curtain. Because if you don't know, Broadway shows start 5 past the advertised start time. Don't rely on that. Don't get into that habit.
No.
But we have...
But also, if you go to the UK, if you come here and then go back to the UK,
You're in town.
don't take that into
Oh yeah, UK will
consideration.
do their best to start. If they say 7:30, they mean it.
Yeah, so if you're American and then you're planning a UK trip, do not think that it's going to start late.
Yes. Yeah, heading down to Gypsy, which is the reason for the season. It's why we are here. I'm wildly excited. We don't know where we're sat yet. We can make this light. It says 2 seconds and we haven't reached it yet, but we can make it. Cross the street. Do not get run down. They don't want to drive into us. That's the thing to remember. Ah! This taxi's trying to kill me. I'm going to vlog my own traffic accident because the court footage will be helpful. Yeah, heading down to the Majestic. First time visiting this theatre in our lifetimes. As I mentioned before, previously the home of the Phantom of the Opera, now home to Gypsy, starring Audra McDonald. That's exciting. I do want merch. I do want to show you the theatre. I may do all of that in the intermission because we're a little tight on time because we were socialising. Sue me!
I'm always amazed how many people we managed to get to see in this whole time we're here.
We're here briefly, specifically for this trip.
This trip
So
as well.
yeah, it's nice to catch people. Which way do you think the Gypsy queue is going? Should we go Schubert Alleyway, or is it going to come around this corner?
Oh, come on, let's go.
It'll come around this corner because the Broadhurst one is going to go the other way. We are getting in line. I will show you the marquee as we approach it from the other side. Oh, of course, the Broadhurst is currently dark. I should have thought about that. Dudoy. But here we are, queuing up for Gypsy at the Majestic Theatre. Quickly going to the restroom before the show, but I can show you the specialty beverages. We have the Gotta Get a Gimlet, vodka or gin, roses, lime juice, and lemon lime soda. We have the Rosé's turn, rosé wine, a splash of cranberry, and a splash of soda. We have the Tipsy Gypsy, love that name, tequila, triple sec, lime, and lemon lime soda, and the Herbie Burby. These are all adorable. Bourbon and ginger ale. And of course, in the specialty Gypsy cups, as shown there as well, if you get a larger beverage, with plenty more drinks beside if you don't want a specialty cocktail. And the line pre-show seems to be much shorter down here in the lower level. Okay, we have got to our seats 5 minutes before curtain. We are in Orchestra G, 12 and 14, which in any other theatre sounds a bit wide, but here it's a big enough stage, it's a big enough theatre, that is not a problem. Here at the Majestic. Isn't it gorgeous? I'll try and show you more of it in the intermission, maybe even after the show. But right now I'm going to prepare myself emotionally for Gypsy. There's a passerelle. Look at this. That walkway in front of the orchestra pit, that's called a passerelle. Down here in the lower level, we also have a merchandise desk. There is also one in the main foyer, but it's a little quieter down here, so I'll show you some of the prices there first of all. Hopefully you can see those. As you can see, we have many items. We have this gorgeous blue and red artwork here on a canvas tote. You can also see the show's 2 enamel pin badges, one of which has the title treatment, Order Gypsy, the other one has a chow mein container, a Chinese food container with an egg roll. It says, "Have an egg roll, Mr. Goldstone." Of course, a lyric from the show. We have a t-shirt here. We have a hat. It says Gypsy. It's embroidered on the front. We have a different tote bag design if you want multiple tote bags. That Gypsy hat also has another message on the back. I'll show you over here on the other side. You can also see a little mug here that says "Sing Out, Louise." We can see a Gypsy ornament. You can hang it from a Christmas tree. You can hang it as an earring if you choose to. It says "Curtain up, light the lights." We have a magnet. We have a different kind of magnet. We have this fan that says you got to get a gimmick. That hasn't happened yet because that's in Act 2. That other tote bag is shown there. It says Mama's got the stuff. You can also see a lovely silk scarf emerging from it. You can see the back of that t-shirt we saw and the back of the hat. It says "Curtain up, light the lights." You can also see a long-sleeved burgundy top that is more of a t-shirt thickness rather than a pullover. If it looks like one to you, it's not. It's like a long-sleeve t-shirt. It says "Let me entertain you." We also have a hoodie and another kind of t-shirt there with some of the lyrics from Rose's Tone. You can see the scarf, and you can also see the window card. That is the merch from Gypsy. We are slowly filtering out, but one last look at the majestic theatre. It's sort of coral seats the stage, the now empty stage of Gypsy. They waste no time in putting out the ghost light. Got to keep away those opera ghosts. Otherwise Phantom will come back. I joke, I enjoy Phantom, as did many other people for 3 decades. Ironically, many chandeliers, but the suspension seems to be good. So that's promising. And good morning, tiny people in my camera. It is Wednesday morning. We fly to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at 7:30 p.m. this evening with Delta. Our first domestic American flight. We're seeing a matinee beforehand. This is an interesting topic. Seeing an afternoon show and then racing to the airport to go and get on a flight to obviously fit in as many Broadway shows as you can. So 7:30 flight. We're seeing a 1 hour 40 one-act play at 2 p.m. We will get back to where our luggage is around 4 p.m. and then we're heading to LaGuardia. We're going to try and get an Uber, which in good traffic should take less than half an hour, putting us at LaGuardia 3 hours before takeoff, 2 hours and 20 before check-in, before boarding starts. Plenty of time, theoretically. Theoretically. We'll see what happens. That might be the epilogue of this vlog, the epivlog, where we let you know to what extent that has worked, but it should all be fine. I would say just give yourself as much room as possible, and prepare for things, like leave room for things to go wrong. The last thing you want to do is be like, you won't enjoy that last show if you're worried about the journey to the airport. Don't put yourself in a position where you feel like you're going to have to worry. I'm crossing the street. It is chilly out and I'm not wearing a hat because I'm just going to get Magnolia Bakery breakfast and then we're going to go back, do a little bit of work, edit together. I'm going to edit together the Instagram reel that's going to reveal to people that we're here in New York because we haven't said it publicly.
Which has been tricky.
Which Aeron is never a fan of. No. Aeron does not like keeping the secrets. But while we're en route, I thought we could talk Gypsy. Now, all being well, by the time you're seeing this vlog, possibly you've already seen my review. And I don't know what I'm going to say yet. It's not perfect. It doesn't all the way work. There is still, I don't want to take away from the fact there is still really first-rate, extraordinary work being done on that stage. And if you don't know Gypsy as a show, if you're not familiar with the strength of that material, a big part of why I'm saying this is because the show is so good. Like, it's still, this is not like a 2-star production or maybe even a 3-star production. It's not a 5-star production. This might still be a 4 just on balance because you're still getting extraordinary musical theatre performers giving great performances of extraordinary, some of the best material written for a book musical ever. I don't think the direction is good. I don't think this production has a strong identity, which is a shame because I think it really had room to, especially with this casting. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen something that had more of a perspective on the piece. I feel like I say that a lot recently, where it's just like a production of the show rather than the production. And it's what sets this apart from Sunset Boulevard. That has an identity, that has a perspective. And I think actually when it comes to the Tony Awards, to my mind now, there's no competition, either in leading actress or in best revival. Controversial. Sorry, there's a sanitation truck passing down the street. You can still see it's like slightly frosty, slightly snowy, but largely thawed. Elsa has discovered love, that's what's happened here. We actually had a cover for Adult Louise, and many brilliant performances. I really liked Leslie Margarita and all the strippers. Loved Jordan Tyson as Adult June, as Dainty June. Which is not something I normally leave Gypsy saying, which is maybe an indictment on the production in and of itself. And Audra and Danny Burstein still doing extraordinary work. Basically what I'm trying to say is, for those of you who don't know Gypsy, I don't want you to think like, oh no, I've got tickets and I'm going to have a horrible time. I don't think you are going to have a horrible time. I think there's still a lot that's really great about it, but they've cut the slide whistle from the overture, and that I think is where the problems begin. Actually, the problems begin when they don't dim the house lights completely for the overture, because it's one of the greatest overtures in musical theatre history. Shout out to me briefly looking at a map earlier to work out where this Magnolia Bakery was, vaguely walking in the right direction and stumbling onto it. Secured the goods. Secured the goods. If you don't know, Magnolia Bakery, a New York City institution famous for their world-famous banana pudding, which I enjoy on most trips. It's delicious. It's creamy, it's bready, it's banana-y. It is so good. They also do like different combination flavors with it, like they'll do different specialty versions of it, I guess monthly or seasonally, and I normally never like them. Like they did like a cold brew coffee one, I think they did like a pumpkin spice one when we were here around Halloween. Neither were my vibe. This is a hot chocolate one. I'm all over that. Thrilled and delighted I am. Thrilled and delighted. I made Aeron take a photo of me on this street corner the other day because we found a Gray's Papaya. If anyone has been listening to Lin-Manuel Miranda and Issa Davis's Warriors concept album, new musical theatre, Warriors, there's a song called Outside Gray's Papaya and they sing about it. I don't know if it's this one specifically because I am told there used to be multiple Gray's Papaya locations. They do hot dogs. There used to be multiple Gray's Papayas, and now there is only this one. Sorry, working out where to cross the street. I'm excited to get back and eat my hot chocolate banana pudding. Okay, back outside, now more insulated, as you can see. Still not wearing the gloves. I do have them with me. Yeah, heading down for our final show, which is a matinee of Eureka Day. This is a play that was at the Old Vic in the UK a few years ago. Didn't see it there. The theme of our trip has been plays we didn't see in the UK, even though we could have done, that we're now seeing in New York. But I think it's tricky, especially with plays. There are so many in London, at so many different theatres, in the Commercial West End, at the National, at places like the Bush and the Donmar and the Almeida. And there's a lot of brilliant plays, but it can be harder to discern which ones are the really great ones. I find it harder, at least. And on Broadway, fewer plays break through to Broadway, and I put a lot of faith in the programming of Second Stage and the Manhattan Theatre Club. They haven't really steered us wrong yet, and I've heard good word of mouth about both of these, both English, which we already loved, and also Roundabout. Sorry, yes, I apologise, Roundabout. Also Roundabout. Thank you, Aeron. Yeah, so going to see Eureka Day today. I don't know if I told you this, but when I went to the box office, we got orchestra seats in their 30 under 35 deal, which were not available on that same deal online. I was trying to avoid the booking fees, but it turns out if you go to the box office, they may actually have more and better seats available. So, worth doing if you can. Heading down now. Where we're staying is only a 30-minute walk from the Midtown Manhattan Theatre District, so we left 40 minutes before curtain, which is kind of a novelty for us and not something we do in the UK. But here there's relatively little point getting to the theatre that much before the show begins. So walking on down past Lincoln Center, I have to turn my entire body to turn my head sideways on account of the scarf. But seeing final matinee, after which we're going to head back and then make our way to LaGuardia to go to Florida to get on a Disney cruise, which sadly I will not be vlogging. I apologise, but I'm taking the opportunity to just have an actual vacation, have an actual holiday without feeling like I need to document it. And I enjoy doing this when we're doing theatre trips. I do enjoy vlogging, and maybe my thumbs will get itchy while we're on the cruise, and I will on occasion wish that I was, but I think I'm going to thank myself for it, for not doing it, so I can just chill and eat and hug Disney characters. Also worth saying, and although this is the coldest week in like 2 years in New York, I nearly didn't pack this hat, this scarf, or these gloves, and that would have been a terrible decision. So take the weather forecast seriously, everybody. We are walking underneath the old parking garage underpass area where you can access the Gershwin Theatre where Wicked is playing, and the Circle in the Square. Oh, okay, yeah, they're going into Romeo and Juliet. I was like, this is too early for stage doors, people. What's happening? We were having a conversation with friends about where the Gershwin Theatre is, because you go in there, you go up, and then you come back on yourself, so is it above us? Does Wicked happen above us? I've walked under here so many times, I've never thought about it like that. But yeah, it's Wednesday, so these are midweek matinees. Romeo and Juliet seems also to be doing a 2 p.m. Lots of young people here to see Shakespeare. We love to see that. It's actually a very nice day weather-wise here in Manhattan. It's nice and bright, and I have enjoyed the weather, other than the oppressive cold. It has otherwise been very clear blue skies, nice and bright, which is nice. We are just reaching 48th Street. The Samuel J. Friedman Theatre, operated by the Manhattan Theatre Club, is on 47th. And there are 15 minutes till curtain. That's till actual curtain. That's not fake curtain. Gypsy caught us out last night because Gypsy started before 7:05 actually. I think that might have been because of the overture, because they consider it an introductory part of the performance, which I disagree with. We're in the theatre. Oh, it's already much warmer. That's nice. Had tickets scanned, had bags checked. Heading down to the lounge area where we have restrooms and a little bookshop area. There's also a bar down here, including a featured cocktail for the show, the Conversation Starter, Eureka vodka, iced tea, red currant and lemon. If it weren't an afternoon, that sounds like something I could absolutely get on board with. Sounds delicious. Also something I always love to see in a theatre, which is some history from some other productions, presumably some other Manhattan Theatre Club productions, including Judith Light and Jessica Hecht here. Jessica Hecht, who is a part of the company for this production of Eureka Day. And I've just spotted something around here I love even more. Oh, I wish I could have known about this and contributed to it, but there are plenty in here. There's a Eureka Day book drive, from what I know of the play, that is in keeping with the themes of the play, and there's also, not to brag, an American Theatre Wing Tony Award. And with just a few moments until the play will begin, Here is our view from the orchestra. F124 is where I'm sat. It is on the aisle, but at this theatre, the seating just sort of goes straight back. I don't envision this being a problem. This is the terrific set here of Eureka Day. We're getting ready for this afternoon's performance. I'm very excited, and I'm excited to be back in the Freedman, a theatre we've only visited once before, about a year ago for Prayer for the French Republic. Oh my god, hey.
Hello.
Spoiler alert, made it to LaGuardia seamlessly.
Yeah, well, it wasn't an issue. I mean, not a cheap Uber.
No.
Not a cheap Uber.
No, but worth it because we had cases and...
Oh yeah, it did make all that easier.
You can't take the train to LaGuardia or the subway.
No.
You would have to get on a bus. You have to drive in one way or another, so a bus or an Uber or a taxi or a car. Revolutionary concept. I don't know if they'd stop you on a bicycle or a golf buggy.
We were through so quickly. Like, we arrived a bit nervous because we were like, this is a new airport.
New to us.
Yeah, we were like, is it going to be a quick... we had bags to drop off, which we don't, so we were like, bag drop off, and then we need to do security. That was one of the quickest securities we've done.
It was so quick.
But big thing as well, difference between LaGuardia and JFK is LaGuardia, you don't take your electronics out of the bag.
Yeah. We're now ready for our onward journey. As a reminder, not vlogging this next part here on my channel. That's the plane that's going to take us to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, ahead of getting on a Disney cruise, which is going to be an actual restful vacation. We'll still be doing plenty of activity still, don't you worry. But in comparison to the semi-work trip of the last few days, hold on. We're trying to. Oh, that was it. But we've had a great New York trip.
Yeah,
it was
really good.
Really cold,
Yes.
but very lovely.
Yeah, it was nice. We got to see New York in the snow.
Yeah.
Which I felt like is one of those things that is one of the staple New York things. I'm glad that we've done
That first day in Central Park, walking around in the core memory. Core memory. Saw some
Very
great
nice.
shows, some very special theatrical experiences. Saw Gypsy, saw Death Becomes Her, at a very special performance it felt like because of the two covers, Kaylee and Natalie.
Very good plays.
Very good plays. Loved Eureka. I haven't really spoken about Eureka Day.
Yeah, so we're rushing back.
Yeah, loved it. Brilliant.
What's funny is we're going to be seeing Amber Gray again very soon on a different stage in a different show.
Yes, over in the West End in Hadestown. But yeah, had a great time. If I had to say my favourite show of the trip, it's English and Eureka Day. I think English might just take it.
I would agree, I think.
English had that 5% more emotional impact, but also I think does more to break boundaries in terms of playwriting. Is this us? This is not us.
We'd also like to extend our gratitude by inviting our active U.S. Navy military service members aboard at this time. Thank you for your service.
She didn't sound done. She's not done.
Thank you for your business. Thank you for your loyalty.
You can tell by the cadence.
Zone 1, you're now welcome to board.
We've had a great trip. Onwards for us. We will be back in New York, but maybe not until later in the spring, early summer. We've seen a lot of the stuff that's coming over from London. There is, of course, new stuff for us to see, the likes of Redwood, Buena Vista Social Club, Little Women Have Curves, Purpose, many more things. We're going to get on a plane now. Thank you for joining us vicariously for this surprise New York trip. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. I hope the vlog has come together nicely. Stay tuned for more theatrical content and reviews from everything we saw on this trip coming very soon. And we both hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey, for goodness sake, get on the plane.
A stagey day.
A stagey day. Bye-bye. Pan to the plane. For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!